Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. We're doing something different today. We're doing a personal question and answer video. I'm telling you a little bit more about me. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Kiva Brent and welcome back to my channel. This is DIY with KB. So I have my phone here today. You guys submitted a bunch of questions over on Instagram. If you don't know what my Instagram is, it's at kiva.brent. So, for the next one, if you didn't get to submit a question, you could submit one over there the next time. But you guys asked me a bunch of questions and I'm going to answer them so you can get to know me a little bit more about my stars and interiors, like where I'm from, all that good stuff, a few like juicy questions. So I'm going to answer them. So let's just get right into today's video because I will say, given like what my content's about, there isn't much room for me to tell you really anything. And I do divulge a lot of information over on Instagram because I have a big mouth and I literally cannot stop talking. But there just isn't really much room for that over here on YouTube. So let's just get right into it. So the first question is, where do you live? So I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm not originally from Pittsburgh, but that is where I currently reside. I did not want to move to Pittsburgh. I was like, we are not moving here. But I love Pittsburgh with all of my heart and soul. I'm so grateful to live here. It is the best place on earth. So a good follow-up question to where do you live is, are you thinking about moving to a warmer climate? So if you don't know this about me, I have some autoimmune issues and I talk all the time about moving to a warmer climate. So am I thinking about moving to a warmer climate? Yes. Am I going to do that right now? No. Because my wife is still doing some things in this area with her job. So we're going to keep doing that for a few years. But after that, there are some warmer climates on my list. So we're going to, start shopping around, start visiting some warmer places. But for now, we're going to stay put here in Pittsburgh. What do you do with home accessories that you no longer use? So I live in Pittsburgh, obviously, and I'm surrounded by a lot of people who are in college and who are starting with their first apartments or are, buying their first homes. And I'm really big on donating those things to them or giving things to them. So whenever I work with brands or I do collabs or I buy things and I don't want them anymore, I always give them away or I donate them, right? If I don't need something anymore, I'm always just going to give them away. I do not resell them or anything to that effect. I also regularly donate things to Goodwill, to shelters, whatever it is I can do. So that's primarily where things go. So yeah, I don't have like a Poshmark or anything like that. That's too much trouble and I just don't feel the need to do that. So that's what I do with old things. I will say I don't do it, I don't have it's not a well-oiled machine, let me put it that way. Our guest room does often become kind of like a storage sort of situation. So this is something we do quarterly, but all of our friends are always kind of moving about. So things go like that. And I do a lot of bedroom transformations for the people in our lives, like the people in our condo building and just the people that we know. So I always like to use the products for their homes as well. How are you doing physically/mentally since having a chronic illness? So if you guys don't know, I have a chronic illness, and if you haven't seen that video, I'll link that up above. But I have an autoimmune disorder that has kind of just flipped my entire life upside down. So it has impacted my career and all of that stuff in just the very worst way. But I think I'm actually doing pretty well. I have the best support system in the world with my wife and my sister-in-law and my friends and my family and you guys. I think that no one ever makes me feel bad for not being able to be at 100% at all times. And I think I'm trying to be a little bit kinder to myself about the fact that I can't do everything that I want to do at the pace that I want to do it at. And I really do have great physicians. I will say this, and I say this to my clients all the time. If you have really bad health problems, move to Pittsburgh. We just have really fantastic healthcare here. I just have this fantastic team of physicians. My rheumatologist and my PCP are actually married to one another, and it's just the best combination I could have possibly asked for. So it's going well. In terms of mentally, it's going well. Just taking it day by day, and I really appreciate you asking. What is your favorite home decor store to shop at on a budget? So actually my favorite home decor store to shop at on a budget would probably be At Home. So At Home is a store I don't talk about very often, but it is this huge mega warehouse where they have home decor options for every single design style. So farmhouse, eclectic, glam, like Moroccan, like every single design style you could think of, they have something. And they have things that are kind of like cheaply made, but they also have things that are very, very well made. And I love it just because you can go through every single design style and they have something for everyone. And they have such great hidden gems. And I love that you can kind of just get lost in the warehouse. It's like IKEA, but like things that you've never seen before. I think IKEA is one of those places where I know exactly what I'm gonna find, right? So I'm just walking through there just to walk through there, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna buy something, but I've seen it 100 times. I just want it and I know that I want it, right? I'm like, oh, what am I gonna find in IKEA? I know exactly what I'm gonna find and I know I'm gonna spend $500, right? But at home, I don't know what I'm gonna find. I'm always going for new inspiration and they have some really well-made things and I just think it's so fun. I love their lamp section. I think they actually have some really fantastic art. I just think I have a really fun time and the warehouse is so big. You just turn on your Apple Watch, which mine is not on, mine is dead in a drawer somewhere, and you can get a good workout in walking through the corridors. So I really enjoy that store actually. What is your favorite travel spot? So my favorite travel spot is Alaska. I actually didn't have the privilege of traveling very much when I was younger. We just grew up pretty low income, so we didn't travel much. And as I've been older, like we work to put our money towards travel, like that's what we save to be able to do. And my favorite travel spot is Alaska, and we're actually going in a month from now. So we're going on a 7-day cruise to Alaska, and it's my favorite place in the entire world. I love glaciers. We love the cold. Like we're a family that loves the cold. Like, no, I don't want to go anywhere warm. Obviously we do, but I want to be freezing cold. I want to see some glaciers. I want to see some bears. I want to see some whales. I love the cold. We love hiking. We love being outdoors. So I would say that that is the place for us. My bucket list place is definitely like Antarctica. Got to get a little bit more fit. We also want to go to Iceland, but cold places are definitely where we like to go. Do you have a non-YouTube job? So yes, I do. So I guess it's yes and no. So I am a full-time content creator, but I don't do YouTube full-time. So I actually create content for myself, but I also create content for other brands, and it's stuff that you don't see all of the time. So a lot of brands come to me and they say, Kiva, can you create content for this product or this or that? So I create content for them that you never see on my own platforms. So I create content for their TikToks, for their websites, for this and for that, for their web shows, and you actually never see that on my own platforms, and that's what I spend a majority of my time doing. I actually also have my own interior styling business where I style for my own clients. Right now, I'm not accepting any clients due to my health issues, but hopefully as those health issues are remedied, I'm able to get back to doing more of that because obviously that's what I want to spend my life doing. But I do have my own business there, and then I do content creation for myself and for other companies as well. But I did get my start on YouTube, and without YouTube, none of that would be possible. So thank you guys so very much for all that you have made possible. What design styles have you gone through? So this is going to be a long answer because the answer is like every single design style that has ever graced the planet Earth and like all of the Earths in the multiverse. So we had a really hard time, and when I say we, I just mean me because my wife does not care about interior design, not one bit. But I had a really hard time figuring out a design style because I didn't really know much about design. So I will say that I didn't go to school for interior design, and we'll get into that in a little bit. I'll answer those questions next. But I didn't go to school for interior design, so I was just kind of figuring out what worked for us. And so I just kind of like went into the design styles that we could afford at the time because I got into interior design while we were still in college. And I wasn't like an affluent college student, right? Like it's really nice if that was you, right? And a lot of people have that luxury. I was just not one of them. So like with my like little $200 I had, it was like, I'll buy this farmhouse sign, I'll buy this, I'll buy that. So we kind of made it work. So we went through the farmhouse, we went through the bohemian, predominantly those two for a long time. And then we found the modern, and we just kind of finessed the modern through what we could find from like Home Goods and At Home and IKEA. And we actually found like the modern look through Restoration Hardware while I was still in college. And we just kind of tried to achieve that look through more like affordable stores. And then that just kind of turned into our design style, and it just kind of has evolved from there. And so our style is now like more warm modern, and it will continue to be that. It's a little bit more eclectic now. I think our style is just kind of like whatever it is like I'm thinking about at that particular moment in time. I definitely am not really looking for inspiration anymore. Whatever it is I'm enjoying is what I want to do. And I think that's kind of how design should be. Whatever sparks joy for you is what you should put in your home. I think that's how I passionately feel now. But we've gone through every single design style, and I think it's okay to do that. Just do it in a way that kind of like works for your wallet. That's the most important way, but just have fun with it. It's okay if you don't know exactly what it is you want your home to look like. We've all been there. And if any designer says that they haven't been there, they're just lying to you. Everyone kind of ebbs and flows with what they enjoy. It's really hard to figure out what you actually want to live with versus what you actually enjoy seeing in other people's homes. So what is my background? How did I get started in interior design? So my actual background is in science. So I got started on YouTube while I was still in college. So my degree is in natural sciences with a concentration in biochemistry. So not at all in interior design. And I got started in interior design because in my very last semester of college, I took this really fantastic course with this professor who honestly changed my life. She changed my life. It was a course on social media. And as a part of my final project, I had to learn how to use social media for business. So that's how I learned how to use social media. So I was applying those skills to a business. So I decided I was gonna like learn how to do interior design for the sake of this course, right? So I got interested in interior design. I was trying to learn how to do real estate for business and all of that good stuff. So I was dabbling all these things for the sake of this like social media course. And that's actually kind of how this came to fruition. And it was so interesting because I was gonna go to med school, right? Because that's just kind of what my life's trajectory was supposed to be. And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a real estate agent. I'm gonna be an interior designer. But my plan was to go to medical school. I was gonna, go be a doctor. I was gonna be an OBGYN. That was what I was supposed to do with my life. That was always going to be what I was going to do with my life. And then I took this course, and then one day I posted a YouTube video and people started watching it, and I was like, okay, people are watching this. Let me try to apply these things I learned in this class and see if it works. Because I was in this course and I was learning from this professor, and I'd interned from this other teacher whose book we were reading in this course. And I was like, okay, I work for this guy. He's the top guy in this field. I can apply these things that I helped him write this book on, right? And I can take these things that I learned in this course, apply them, and I can do this, right? And so I tried to do it, and that's kind of where we are now. So I really just tried to read books and apply what I was learning in those books, and kind of go from there to try to be successful in social media. So it was really kind of, that's just kind of where we are. And one video popped off one day, and I kind of just tried to ride the wave of that, and go from there. And it has been like an ebbs and flows sort of things, and just kind of tried to figure out what works and pivots when things changed in my own life, So I, started off predominantly as like a DIY channel, but of course, when like I started having more health problems and my hands weren't working as well, I couldn't DIY as much, and I wanted to see like what other value I could provide. And then I shifted a little bit there, and kind of, that's where we are now. That wasn't the most eloquent of things that I could say, but that is the answer that I have for you today. So that is the long-winded answer as to how I got to where I am today. I started in science and I ended up in design. I have absolutely no formal training in design. I just fell in love with something because of a course I took at my very last semester in college. My grandmother was like, "What are you doing, Kiva? That is not the plan." And I was like, sorry, sorry, but it's working out, and fingers crossed it is working out. But I'm glad that I still went to school for what I went to school for, so that if for some reason things didn't work out, I can still go do what I plan to do. Another question I got asked is, how long have you had a shaved head for? I shaved my head in my sophomore year of high school. So the reason that I did that is because I was really bad at taking care of my hair. I was not good at, taking care of like my weaves or anything like that. I just was not good at it. I just was too lazy, I guess. I wasn't willing to do the maintenance. So I shaved my head and I thought I looked pretty good with it. So I learned how to shave it myself and how to dye it myself. And I've just been doing that ever since. So therefore I do that. I'm supposed to do it every 2 weeks. I don't always do that. And then I like makeup and I like jewelry, and I kind of just like keep it going in terms of that. But yeah, it's been since my sophomore year of high school. So it's been a number of years that I've been shaving my head, and I've grown it out a few times in between, but then it was just way too hard. It was way too hard for me because I'd have to wake up too early to go to class or go to work. And you know, I am a 10 minutes before work sort of person, 10 minutes before class sort of person. So I like that I can just get up and go. So people want to know why interior design, and my love for interior design really stems from my childhood. So I grew up with my wonderful grandmother, Phyllis, and my grandmother never appears on my YouTube channel because every time I try to film her, she's like, "Get that camera off me, Kiva." That's what she says verbatim, because we're not the most photogenic family. You should see me try and take a thumbnail. Babe has to take like 1,000 pictures of me because I never am smiling. But my grandmother, she's a wonderful lady, and she is an artist. And so I just grew up around an artist, and I think I just fostered a love for the creative really young. So like my grandmother, she bought a house with like blank 4 white walls, and it's covered in mosaics. And we did that together when I was younger. And I just grew up, you know, she took me in when I was really young, I think like around age 5. And I just grew up with her. So I think I grew up around someone super creative. And it's just something that I always loved. And I also love being at home. I was always at home, and I am a homebody. And I think being in a home that I enjoy, that's something that's so important to me. And I think I always wanted to help other people feel that way. Interior design is especially important to me though, and this is my mission, that everyone deserves a beautiful home regardless of their budget, because growing up, we did not have a lot of money, and my grandmother was able to create a beautiful, wonderful home with us without very much money at all. We didn't have any money. We were very, very low income, and my grandmother made the most beautiful home for us by finding, you know, the best artwork in the alleys, in dumpsters, by going to the Goodwill, by finding stuff just in the most random places. I don't know where she found half the stuff that she found. She's a mysterious little woman. She's just a very eccentric lady, and I love her. But even if we were working with $20, she was able to turn nothing into something fantastic. And I love that. She never made me feel like just because we didn't have that much, that we didn't deserve a space that felt comfortable for us. And I think that that's fantastic. And that's why I started creating videos, because I was like, just because we don't have that much money right now, we're supposed to be uncomfortable. We're supposed to not enjoy the space that we're in. And that's what I wanted to help other people do. So that's why I get up every morning. That's why I create content on YouTube, because I want to help people achieve the luxe look for less, right? If you want to achieve the restoration hardware look, the art house look, the this look, the that look, the modern organic, I want to help you do that. If your budget is $500, $1,000, $1,500, this, that, or the other, I'm going to help you do that. And that's what I do with my clients every single day. So that is why I really fostered a love for interior design. And then in terms of design in general, I love being creative. That has always been a thing for me. And I love science as well. And I love the creative aspects of science as well. And I think that's one of the reasons why I've kind of ushered away from it, because people always like, Kiva, stop asking why. Stop trying to, you're just doing too much. Stop trying to be creative. Just follow the rules. So I think I'm a little bit too outside the box. I think I've always been creative, and interior design is just a passion for me, and it's something that doesn't feel like work. And I think that is what your job is supposed to be, something that doesn't feel like work for you. And that's exactly what this is for me. Now I'm getting into the juicy questions. People want to ask me, I got a lot of questions about my wife and like my marriage and all that stuff. So let's get into them. So people ask me if coming out was hard. So I know we just wrapped up Pride Month. So I hope that everyone had a safe Pride Month, first and foremost. And I know that it can be a really difficult month for a lot of people. And I will say that I was very, very fortunate to have a really easy time coming out. I actually grew up around a lot of LGBTQ plus members of the community. I just really did. I didn't know that it was not a common thing, and my grandmother just made it really, really normal in my life because it is a normal thing. So one day I just kind of like, I like this person, and she was like, cool, and that was just kind of it. And I'm so grateful for that, because that is not an experience that literally anyone has, and I know that that's so unfair. But I'm so very grateful for that. So it just kind of was the way that it was. And I also did go to an all-girls school growing up, so I think it was just like a little bit easier to be forthcoming about that, like in a space like that. As for my wife, I met my wife when I was a lot younger. We were just friends. I didn't come out until I was much older. I met my wife when we were in 6th grade. We were in life science together. I met her in 6th grade. We were in 7th grade life science together, and she was way better at it than me. So I asked her to tutor me, and she did, and she really helped me become a lot better at science. And she helped me get so much better at science that I did better than her on an assignment. She got an A and I got an A+, and then we were best friends after that. And yeah, so just we became best friends, and then as we got older in high school, we figured out we had feelings for each other. We dated, and then we went to college. Of course, we broke up, right? You know, self-discovery and all that. We got back together in college, and then, yeah. But, I mean, we figured out our feelings for each other fairly young, and then we got married a little bit later on when we were, how old were we? I think 23. I'm not quite sure how old we were. I know that sounds very unromantic, but I mean, I knew she was the one from a very young age. You know, I feel like, I don't know if this is cheesy, but I feel like, you know, on the inside, right? I feel like you only get those true butterflies from someone like once in your life, like a person that you like so much, you just like want to vomit. You like them so much. That's the only person on the planet who's ever made me feel that way. Like, she makes me nervous to this day, even though like I eat, sleep, and like everything near her. Like, I get nervous every time I see her, no matter what. So I knew she was the one, so I didn't have to contemplate whether or not I wanted to marry her. So we got married when we got married. Yeah, and we haven't really celebrated quite yet because we got married in the middle of a pandemic, so we'll have to do that when the world is a little bit better. And a lot of people want to know what my wife's name is. I call her Babe because we don't call each other one another's names. I don't know. You can tell me if you do that in your marriage or not. Let me know down in the description box. Not in the description box, what would I say? Let me know down in the comments. But I feel like you only say your partner's name if you're like kind of in an argument. Babe, there's actually like a bug on your head. Okay, it's gone. Babe is helping me film this. Babe, say hello to everyone. Hello. Okay, so we only call each other like our names, like if we're like being really stern, like Anne. Yeah, there you go. So her name is Anne, right? But I never call her Anne unless like I mean business. But her name is Anne. My name is Kiva. But she calls me honey. I call her Babe. But when she calls me Kiva, I have done something very wrong. Or we're out in public, right? But normally if we're out in public, she won't even call me my name. She'll just start saying hello, right? Which is not really a good identifier, but she'll just start saying hello. And I just have to like go to hello, kind of like Marco Polo, and try and find her. Another question I got really often was, how do you build a following on the internet? And I'll be honest, I am no social media guru. I have no like hard and fast rules on this. I think the best advice I can provide is to be really authentic and post the things that you enjoy. I think whenever I'm going through a social media rut, which is something that I've gone through a lot recently, something I like to do is just to post the things that I enjoy posting, right? When you post for views, no one's going to watch that because I think it comes through very much so that you're not enjoying yourself. I post the things that I enjoy, right? I posted things that I enjoy doing, the things that I want to share. If you're posting just because you think people will like it, I think it comes across, right? People want to see what you're doing, and people enjoy things because you're enjoying things, right? An example, like, I really wanted to make over my powder room, right? And everyone was like, what are you doing? You've never done anything like this before. But I did it because I wanted to have fun, and it was something that really sparked joy for me. And it ended up performing really well. Did I anticipate that? No. Am I happy that it happened? Yes. But it was just about sparking joy for me. And it was a passion project, and you know, that's what it boiled down to. So post the things that you enjoy. It really isn't about hashtags or anything like that. It's about consistency. It's about finding a niche, and it's about finding like-minded people. So just take your time. Don't quit your day job. Just take your time and good things will come. And honestly, don't be afraid to reach out to your favorite influencers, you know? Don't be afraid to reach out to your favorite content creators. Say, hey, I want to learn from you. Hey, I want to intern for you, something like that. People are always looking for interns. People are always looking for people to join their teams. There's nothing wrong with asking. I have people email me for things like that all the time. I'm like, yeah, sure, come aboard. I mean, yeah, I'm happy to show you the ropes. Am I guaranteeing that you're going to become internet famous? No, I'm not internet famous. I don't know how I can guarantee you're going to be internet famous, but I'm happy to show you whatever it is whatever wisdom I can impart, I want to impart it to you, right? So just shoot your shot, right? What do you have to lose? But I know that you can be great. You are already great. You just want to share that with the world, and I know that you can do it. Okay, you guys, that is it for my personal Q&A. That was fun. I hope that you got to learn a little bit more about me. If you have any other questions about me, you can leave them down in the comments. I'm happy to answer them. I really am an open book. And if you ever do want to learn more about me, again, I'll answer really anything over on Instagram. I don't have anything to hide. I'm always willing to share and answer your questions. Yeah, I love this community that we have built over here on YouTube, and I hope that we can maybe open up a little bit more here on the channel, a little bit more vlog style sometimes, so that we can just get to know each other a little bit more. Until next time, have a beautiful day.